Greetings and welcome to Code Quickie. Today we're going to look at hidden characters and hidden encoding. So this stuff usually happens when you copy and paste. When you copy and paste, especially code, and the code is giving you some weird errors, such as, let's go to hidden tags. Like as you can see, this is the correct way to write a function. You start your function on the first tab, then you indent your body. Everything in your body gets indented on the same line, and then you end the function, you end on the tab where you started the function, in case this is the beginning of the new line. So this function, and we call the function, right? We have strings, and then we have an array here, right? We obviously, this is like the same as JavaScript spread syntax. So obviously these arguments are going to go into B, C, and D. So everything should look fine. Let me make this less complicated so that we can have no doubt in our mind that this will work, right, as it should. So everyone agrees that this would work. Pause the video and take 5 seconds to decide. Okay, once you have decided, let's run. And now inconsistent use of tab and spaces in indentation. All right, and we take a look, everything looks consistent, right? But you copied and pasted this code, which means that in the coding scheme, it wasn't formatted properly. And we need to see, and we need to have a way to see this, that there's these hidden characters in there. So always when you get problems like these where code looks right, but your interpreter, say Python interpreter or compiler is saying that there's something wrong, is if it doesn't have the ability to filter out these hidden characters, right, to filter out the code to its default encoding, which for Python 3, it's UTF-8, Python 2 is ASCII, and you just have to find out your own language, what's the default encoding scheme for that language, right? You're going to have to see them. We're going to have to make these characters available so that we can see them. And if you copy and paste through your code editors, right, you might not see these characters. Also, what we're going to do in VS Code, we're going to go to our settings, settings.json, and we want to uncomment. You want to write down, because if you copy, right, we might get, if you try to copy and paste, sometimes we might get an invalid hidden character as well. So we want to write down these 2 lines. I'll give everyone time, or you could pause the video right here to add these 2 lines to your settings.json, right? Render white space and render control characters. Okay, this allows us to see the problem. So you see these 4 dots right in front. These are what tabs are supposed to look like when you type them out. But sometimes when you copy and paste code from websites, and you see this blank area, that means there's no tabs there. So you see that difference? Sometimes when you copy and paste from websites, what you actually get is these arrows, right? This is a different type of tab coming from a different keyboard. That on a different keyboard, that's not your standard US keyboard. And when stuff like this happens, right, you have to make Python sees this in this case and realize that there's different types of tabs. So it's not only the matter with Python that it's tabs for spaces, it's only matters if tabs is used the right characters, because Python doesn't see tabs. What it sees is characters, right? And these 2 characters are different, and that's why you're getting this error. So what you want to do is you want to replace the tab that's not part of your keyboard, that your keyboard doesn't create. You see when I type the new tab, see the type of tab that my keyboards create. So you're going to take the one that your keyboard creates and replace all the ones that your keyboard doesn't create. And that's how to get this thing to run. So if you go ahead and run hidden tabs, whoops, yeah. PhD. A little error. Well, that code wasn't supposed to work before, right? It picked up that it's consistent use. But now if you get it to work, I say print works. It works. All right, now it's working, right? So, but there's more. This is not the only way we can reveal hidden bad characters in our code. We might have a different situation where the code, everything looks fine. All of our tabs are written with the same character, but there's another bug in here. There's another hidden character in here that we can't see using settings.json. So if you go ahead and these are encoded, this has to do with encoding. So back to what I said about Python 3 UTF-8, right? Python is written, the encoding scheme for Python 3 is Unicode, right? So in Unicode, although it's a power to the 2 or the twice as large as your ASCII encoding set, it still can't record all the characters, right? So there's characters, say that's in all different alphabets, say like the Greek alphabet or the Latin alphabet, that Unicode will not render to you, right? So if you try to run this, file in Python right here, we get another error: invalid character in identifier. Okay, so there's a non-UTF-8 character in here. That's what that means, right? And you can see how it says there's an invalid character, but when you take a look at the error, all you see is literally the empty space. Right here is a character. Right here is a character, but won't render that well. And if we go into the interpreter and we copy this line right here, we're going to see the empty space that they're talking about. Actually, yeah, we can see right now that there's actually a character right behind that. We're actually, you don't even need the Python interpreter. We can actually see that there's an empty character right about here. So there's a piece of character right happening here. So all we need to do is we need to change the encoding. We need to change the coding to see this character. And the character is going to look a little bit demonic. It's going to look like something out of Ghostwriter's Bible once you take a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the encoding, and we're going to reopen the file with the encoding. And then usually I choose Western ISO to usually see these characters, but it's best to select the recommendation that VS Code gives you. Because once VS Code sees that it needs to select a different encoding, it can actually go through the file and recognize the hidden characters in there. So here we're going to choose the one that VS Code recommended for us, and then in your area, choose the one VS Code recommends for you. And you see that hidden character right there that we had a problem with, right? So what Python couldn't see because it was using the UTF-8 encoding. Now we're reviewing this file in Windows 1252 encoding, and now we get to see these characters. So now once we remove those characters, right, we get this function. This will work again, but make sure you convert the encoding scheme back to UTF-8 in order for this to work again properly. So we only convert encoding schemes once we need to remove hidden characters and nothing else. Do not try to edit the file in a different encoding and save it back to the original. Something nasty might happen because the word, like the letter O in one encoding scheme, might mean something totally different in another encoding scheme, and we don't want that mix-up to happen in our code. Right, we get more hidden characters and we break up our code some more. So if we run this file again, all right, and we call the function, it works, right? So that was the demonstration I had for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.